While we were talking about predictions for the upcoming election, Joe Rogan recently voiced what he thinks is going to happen. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I feel like right around May, they're going to pull him.
No way.
Yeah.
And Newsom comes in.
I think he just has health problems, and then the country understands, and Newsom is going to have his support fully, and Kamala is going to I don't want to be president. I'm cool with being vice president.
So Newsom runs with Kamala?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't think they can pull Kamala. I think as long as they keep her quiet, she's already whatever liability she is.
Bro. So Joe Rogan says that they will pull Biden out of the race around May and then insert Gavin Newsom, which would be our worst nightmare, and then keep Kamala as VP. What do you think, Eric? Is this a likely outcome in your opinion?
I think it's unlikely. I think if Joe Biden was going to step down, or step aside, he would have done it by now. And does anything tell you about Kamala Harris in her attitude and her demeanor that she'd willingly say, if Joe Biden stepped down, she'd willingly say, no, I'm just going to stay as the VP. I haven't seen that particular side of her ego. I don't think many people have. But hey, maybe Joe's taking a long shot here. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. This is from a online betting site. They have Trump winning at 54%, Biden at 34%. Gavin Newsom is a long shot. He only has 6.7.
Wow.
So. But you know what? He is beating Kamala Harris, who has 3.8. So I don't know. Maybe Rogan has some inside information.
Maybe. That is an interesting point I had not considered, but very interesting nonetheless. You know, I really do think that the vast majority of the country understands how awful Newsom would be as president. I know people like us. There are some people who like him for some strange reason, but I think most see what a danger he would be to the country. But, you know, maybe if Biden does get pulled for whatever reason, they might consider replacing him with Sunny Hostin of The View. I think they actually have the same IQ level. Here she is attempting to link yesterday's solar eclipse to climate change. Take a look.
Would maybe lead one to believe that, you know, either climate change exists or something is returning.
Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground.
No, it happens. And the eclipse, they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen, and they actually can say when these things are going to happen.
Global warming strikes again. I love that her equally moronic co-host actually corrected her here. Eric, what is your reaction?
Well, first I got to react. That was a great insult. You compared somebody's intelligence to that of Sunny Hostin. That's painful. I don't think anybody wants to hear that about themselves. Yeah, these perfectly predictable things that have been going on for, centuries, eclipses and the cicadas coming out and the earthquake. That's all tied into climate change. It's amazing because I can predict that if you turn your TV onto a certain number at a certain time, 5 really, really heinous women will come out and spew hot air. It's climate change. It's gaseous. It's awful. It might actually hurt your intelligence. They blame climate change on anything. It's too hot. It's climate change. It's too cold. It's climate change. It's just right. It's climate change. Yeah. They use climate change as an excuse for everything. But wow, these are the people that go on TV and say, Trump supporters are conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
You're combining cicadas, the eclipse, and climate change.
That is so true.
That's its own. That's a Reddit thread right there, isn't it?
It sure is, Eric, and it truly is amazing. But you're right. No, they will totally blame anything and everything on climate change, and of course MAGA too. Those are their 2 favorite things to blame anything on. Case in point, this is an actual article from Salon, which makes the claim the random New York City attacks and punching problem that's been taking place over in the Big Apple is a result of the male rage that fuels MAGA. Wow. Eric, I think this may perhaps be the most desperate and pathetic headline I've quite possibly ever seen, and that is truly saying a lot, right? I mean, we all know who's really fueling these assaults, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. It's moments like this where you actually kind of pine for some more journalism layoffs, I think.
Yeah.
It's almost like they let Jussie Smollett write an article. Because, we know New York City's MAGA country, right? I mean, it's just that's why they always vote overwhelmingly liberal there. Yes, it's bang. So therefore, this is why it's happening. Of course, it wasn't written by Jussie Smollett. It was written by this woman. I want to get her name right, Amanda Marcotte, and she's the author of a book called Troll Nation: How the Right Became Trump-Worshipping Monsters.
Wow.
Set on rat-effing liberals, America, and truth itself.
Amazing.
Gee, I wonder if she has an axe to grind. She doesn't sound like a bitter woman at all. She sounds like a real pleasure to be in a room with, I bet.